A wife staged her own husband's murder as a suicide. She thought a gun in his hand would tell that lie forever. She was wrong. A friend went to visit his friend's house one evening. He rang the doorbell. No answer. He rang again. Nothing. He called out. Still nothing. But something didn't add up. The lights inside the house were on, a motorcycle was parked outside, and the television was clearly running. Every sign pointed to someone being home. He hesitated for a moment, then climbed over the boundary wall. Inside, he found his friend dead. A wound to the head. Blood everywhere. And a pistol resting in his hand. Disclaimer: this content contains mature themes including violence, murder, and infidelity, intended for viewers 18 and above. He called the emergency line. Police arrived and documented the scene exactly as it appeared. On the surface, this looked like a clear case of suicide. A gun in his hand. A wound to the head. Most would close the file right there. But the truth doesn't stay hidden. It leaves something behind, and this case left exactly one piece of evidence that unraveled the entire staged scene and led police straight to the real killers. One of them wasn't even a man. Here is the full story. This took place in Jalem, in an area called Kala Gudron. The head of the household was a man named Mohsin Riaz. His wife's name was Sidra. Together they had 2 children, a son named Sahil and a daughter named Zara. In Sidra's extended family there was a young man named Tayyab Razak, a relative. Before her marriage, Tayyab and Sidra had grown up around each other, the way family does. Once she married and moved into her new home, that closeness faded. But after 2 children with Mohsin, her old interest in Tayyab quietly resurfaced. A connection was re-established. Conversations started again. And Tayyab, who had been waiting for exactly this kind of opening, saw his moment. The friendship became an affair. They began meeting outside for long stretches of time. Sidra would drop her children at her mother's house, get ready, and disappear for hours. Every married woman has a routine for visiting her parents, once a month, once every 2 months, whatever it may be. Sidra's had always been once every 2 months. Once the affair started, that routine quietly fell apart. 2 months became 2 or 3 times a month. And every time, a different excuse was ready. Mohsin noticed. Something felt off. She had never been like this before. One day she told him she needed to drop fabric off with her mother's tailor. He said no, drop it with someone here, just stop the constant back and forth. She insisted she had to go to that specific tailor, final answer. He pushed back. She escalated. If you want to keep me, keep me. If you want to divorce me, divorce me. But I'm going. Mohsin realized this wasn't really Sidra talking. This boldness, this defiance, she had never spoken to him like this. His suspicion deepened. In the heat of the argument he grabbed her arm and took her straight to her mother's house. He told her family what she had said to him. Keep me or divorce me, your choice, but I'll do what I want regardless. He said his patience was finished and left her there with the children, returning home alone. After he left, her mother and brothers tried to talk sense into her. Sidra turned it around on them. Don't lecture me, she said. I'm exhausted from being beaten and cursed at. He restricts me, he hits me, and now even my own family is taking his side. Her family softened. They thought maybe they had misjudged the situation and told her to calm down. A few days later Mohsin came back to take her and the children home. She told him plainly, I'm not coming with you. Unsettled, he called her family over again. They told him honestly they didn't know what he had done to make her this resistant. He said, fine, but I will not divorce you. You will remain my wife. And he left, furious. The moment he was gone, Sidra called Tayyab. She told him Mohsin refused to ever divorce her. She asked what they were supposed to do now. Tayyab's answer was direct. There's only one solution. We have to get him out of the way. And then they began to plan exactly how. On February 10, 2026, around 9 p.m., Mohsin came home after work. Shortly after he sat down, the doorbell rang. He opened it to find his wife standing there. His face lit up slightly. He thought she had come back. He asked where the children were. Still at her mother's, she said. I haven't come back to stay. I came to talk. To end this. He let her in. They sat down. Sidra told him, "Enough, Mohsin. This isn't going to work. Give me a divorce and let's end this." He repeated what he'd said before. "I will not give you a divorce. You will remain my wife." While he spoke, Sidra was only half listening. Her phone was in her hand the entire time. She was messaging Tayyab, telling him the house was empty, Mohsin was alone, the path was clear. Come now. She had never come to ask for a divorce at all. She had come to confirm the house was empty, because she intended to have him killed that night. Tayyab replied okay. A short while later he was outside, messaging her to open the door. She did. The moment the door opened he moved fast, gun already raised, pointed directly at Mohsin. Together they restrained him. With a weapon on him, Mohsin didn't resist. They tied him up, struck him in the head, then untied him, placed the pistol in his right hand, and fled. On the surface, the scene was built to look exactly like a man overwhelmed by his circumstances, ending things himself, weapon still in hand. The friend who climbed the wall was named Sheraz, Mohsin's friend. He found him lying there, lifeless, gun in hand, and called the police. Officers arrived, assessed the scene, informed the family, and took the body for a post-mortem to determine exactly how, and by whom, he had been killed. The truth doesn't stay buried. And in this case, one detail unraveled everything. The pistol was in his right hand. Police examined the scene carefully. In a real self-inflicted gunshot, there's a violent physical reaction at the moment of impact, a jolt, a convulsion. The body doesn't simply settle down smoothly. It struggles. But here, his clothes weren't even disturbed. The pistol hadn't slipped. No jolt, no disarray, nothing. He had simply collapsed, and the gun stayed perfectly in place in his hand. That single detail told police everything. A real gunshot wound produces violent movement. The weapon almost always gets dislodged. A staged scene looks exactly like this, too clean, too composed, too perfect. This wasn't a suicide. It was a setup, and not a careful one. When the wife came in for questioning, police asked her to walk them through everything. Her answers were vague, evasive, deflecting. Already suspicious, they pressed her with question after question until she broke. Once she broke, she told them everything. She named her lover, Tayyab. Police raided his house and arrested him. Both were interrogated separately. Both statements matched exactly. The case was registered as murder under Section 302, with Sidra and Tayyab both named and charged. The complaint was filed by Mohsin's brother, Ijaz Riaz. The two children from the marriage are now living with their maternal family. Lessons from the darkness. A marriage built on years of routine can hide something nobody is watching for. Mohsin noticed the small changes, more visits, different excuses, a sudden boldness in her voice, and he was right to notice. The lesson here is that pattern changes matter. When someone you trust suddenly behaves nothing like themselves, that shift is information, not paranoia. The second lesson is about the danger of refusing to let go. Mohsin held on to the marriage by force, believing control would keep his family together. It did not save anything. It only gave two people more time to plan his death. Sometimes walking away protects you more than holding on ever could. The third lesson belongs to the investigators, not the family. A staged crime scene can fool the eye for a moment, but it cannot fool physics. A real death leaves chaos behind it, a struggle, a disturbance, a sign of resistance. The absence of that chaos was the one detail that told the whole truth. Pay attention to what's missing as much as what's present. Mohsin trusted the people closest to him. That trust was used to plan his own murder.